Hello, true art believers. This is Pearson again. I'm back. I'm going to work for another 30 minutes. I'm trying to alternate throughout the day to work 30 minutes and be off for 30 minutes because I gotta do things throughout the day. Man, I look awful. Anyways, that's par for the course. It's not new. There's nothing new, right? I look awful. So I'm going to start drawing real soon, but first the cool little handy dandy intro theme song. All right, I almost grabbed the wrong pen. So we're gonna work for another 30 minutes, and then we're just gonna see what happens. I've been slowly figuring out what I want to do with the drawing, and I think after these after 2 hours today, working on this for 2 hours, I'm going to move towards the details. I think I've kind of accepted that, and we're just going to keep going. I do have to say though, like, I don't know. I think I was in this morning. I think the first 30-minute session, I'm like, what should I be talking about? Like, I'm always wondering, like, is this too much information to give? And it's not like I'm really giving much, but to some people that it's a lot, right? Like, I should be apparently I should be just talking about my artwork. So I guess I'm going to start changing the dialogue more and just talk about my artwork a little bit, and then not necessarily talk about like what's going on with my day to day. I gotta be more mindful of that because stuff that's going on in my day to day is kind of always on the back of my mind. Like just like everyone has their own little. Again, here I go. Well, I'm not talking about the day to day. I'm just talking about like the mental struggles that we have uh, every day, right? We always have like these personal battles that no one really wants to talk about. It's like we gotta keep them all pent up. Like nothing's ever wrong, and there's let's see here. There you go. So let's see. Let's do this again. So I'm just taking the colors I have here. Now I'm kind of going off topic again. Now I gotta think. Ugh, drawings. Why do you have to make me think? So I don't know. There's this days that the things you have to deal with, right? And this it comes off as like preachy. I guess, but some people don't want to watch that. They don't want to listen to that, and I can agree to some extent, right? Like I find it endearing to know that people have like we all have our own things we got to deal with on a day to day. What's really funny is like I don't like. I guess maybe we go online to get kind of an escape, so we don't want to hear about like other people's issues. Maybe that might be it. Maybe that's the case. Me personally, like when I see like like a celebrity telling me what I should be doing, that aggravates me. I was like, come on, dude, you're loaded. You have no problems. You have like zero problems, bro. Like, oh, yeah, I do have my own problems. You have like what car I gotta buy this month's problems, or I gotta sell a house because I have too many houses and I don't get to go to any of them problems. You have zero problems, rich dude. Like, like these celebrities trying to tell me what to do. Like, I know what you want. You want this. No, I don't want any of that. Like, you can stop telling me what to do, bro. Like, you don't like these guys don't have any problems. They talk like, oh, what was it? I also had someone tell me, Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, had like a little video. He was telling everyone uh, how to go about their lives. Like, and he's doing this as he's in his like hot tub. Like what the heck? Like, why do you tell me what I need to be doing while you're in a hot tub? Like, literally, like, because he's telling him like, hey man, I know it's rough outside, but this you need to do this. Like, come on, dude. Like, you could not work for the rest of your life and you have no problems, right? You'd have zero problems. It's like, yes, I get it. You struggled at the beginning, but you had something most people didn't have, right? You had the ability to metabolize energy and turn it into muscle better than anyone in the world at the time. And because you were able to do that, you were able to leverage that to become one of the best bodybuilders, the best. And you were able to leverage that to become a movie star because at that time, like there was no like strong looking dudes in Hollywood. They're like the strong dudes were like just like they were big, but they weren't cut, man. Having a cut body at the time in Hollywood was super rare, you know. Anyways, that was silly. I'm just like, you got zero problems, bro. Celebrities have like zero problems. So don't tell me what to do. Like, when you come back to me when you're bankrupt and you're well, even when you're bankrupt, you still have like zero problems because you just, yeah. Anyways, I don't know, man. I don't have all the answers. Um, so I think real soon, within the next day, I'm going to start towards getting the final details in here. Uh, and I might end up spending a couple hours on the eyes, work on the nose, and leave kind of like the background hair alone, really focus on the front and leave the details in the background kind of as they are right now, because I might go over them a bit, with like there's an area in the background where you see, like, I don't know if it's the cat's tail or back. It's hard to tell, but I'm going to go over that real good. I'm going to give it a good polishing. Anyways, this coffee does not taste good. It's hot in this room. I should have turned the fan on, but now if I go and change the fan, I'm going to get out of the screen. So I'm just going to leave. It's going to bear with the unbearableness. Yeah, man. So like, I just really, 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 uh, uh, I don't know. I think I just had a conversation and I was telling someone like, how personal should I get? Like, I'm not that I'm getting really personal. I'm just kind of like talking about like maybe my emotional state, like fatigued wise, stress wise. Like, we all have these things we have to deal with, right? And I'm not going to talk about like everything, but I'm not going to give you pertinent information, I guess. I don't really know. I mean, I have a mustache, I'm a person, and that I'm an artist, and that gosh, it's hot in here. You ever be like, when someone's getting nervous, they're like, oh, it's real hot in here. It's super hot. I'm getting, I'm getting a little nervous. But it also is really hot in this room because it's one of those factors where you have those where they made these houses really quickly and then they like didn't do a good job adding the pipe work for the AC. So like there's one central little unit and then the rest is just like, it's just a bad, poorly structured. Here's something personal. I have been irrigating my sinuses. And for those that don't know this, apparently, I have never really truly breathed out of both of my nostrils. So I find it really weird when I'm breathing now that I can breathe through my nostrils. Like normally it's always been like sucking air through one nostril, if that. So that's what I've been doing is cleaning my nose. Cleaning cleaning my nose. That's what I've been doing is in cleaning the nose area because apparently uh apparently it's really I've been not been able to. It's been I noticed, I knew it was always the case. I always knew it was like, dude, I was like, man, I think I have is it a prolapsed or a collapsed septum? I think I have a deviated septum. Like one side is always uh, not breathing well. And so I've been cleaning my sinuses and it's kind of helping. I know it's a weird kind of topic to talk about, but like, yeah, apparently if you clean your sinuses, you can breathe. Who'd have thunk it, right? Uh, yep, just working. I'm still trying to think. I keep saying this. Like, I don't know the level of information I should be talking about. Like, I don't really know. Should I talk about like what's going on with my life? Is this like how true, how like transparent is this blog, right? This I think I just drew on the layer. Oops, did I draw on that layer? I hope I didn't. Let's just go back a few. Yeah, let's go back a few. There we go. We'll go back a few strokes and move this layer. There you go. Now we go back to there. We got to move it back up again. Let's move this layer out of the way. Yeah. So I'm just trying to, man, I don't know. It's one of those things like how is it too little information, too much? I don't know. I mean, doesn't really matter. Everyone's a celebrity now. Not really. Anyway, I was playing some basketball and I lost. I don't know what is that? What's that? I don't play basketball. I was kidding. So I'm trying to be a little bit more like suggestive with the form here. You know, see where that takes me. Because all of this is just like I'm trying not to like focus on the hairs. I'm trying to feel the value. I'm trying to play around with that. You know. So now I'm like now it's officially feeling. I'm starting to kind of get an understanding of how I want the hair to kind of move and how I'm getting to feel like the brush, like I know the brush, I understand that how the brush works, but now I'm starting to get the feel of understand how it works. I'm starting to understand what it's how I'm able to work with it in the context of this drawing. So that's helpful, you know. So that like it's starting to feel more like, hey, this is what I need to be doing with this drawing here, you know, like this is how the hair is going to look with when I use this brush in the context of this drawing, you know. And everyone's it's not a clear to me, like I don't do this cookie cutter strategy on every drawing, like everything, like there's always different circumstances, like so that's why the drawings have, they're similar, but the way that the brushes are handled are situational, because well, first, I'm an amateur with regards to this, so because I'm an amateur I don't know the best way, but also because I don't typically like to draw in the same mannerisms each time. So I'm always drawing a slightly different way each time, because that to me will yield growth. So like the way things are happening now is like I'm always playing around with brush strokes. I'm always playing around with the brushes ever so slightly. You may not notice it, but I'm noticing it because I feel it as I'm doing it. You know, I feel that the things I'm doing are slightly different than before. You know, I feel that I'm working on them slightly different, and so I sense that. Now, to the viewer, you may not sense it, you may not see it, but to me, I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh, this feels a little bit different. The way that I'm moving, like the way that the brush strokes are kind of moving. You know, like on this one, I'm doing a little bit more shorter brush strokes with complemented with some fluid ones, you know, some longer brush strokes that kind of signify some of the denser hair fibers, you know. And I'm playing around the contrast a little bit more, even though you can't really see that the contrast in in this cat here. I'm amping up some of the hair follicles a little bit to kind of mitigate. I don't know. It just feels like the right thing to do in the context of this cat drawing. And we just need to we just need to think about that. Like it's different each time. So every drawing is slightly different. You know, I wish I had a more concrete method, but maybe I don't. But maybe because maybe that means there'll be a renaissance of growth within each drawing. You know, everything changes slightly, you know, because of that kind of wonderment, where I'm always like thinking of different ways to apply. You know, like we all get used to an artist drawing a certain way, you know, especially comic artists. Man, I wouldn't know what Alex Ross does if he experiments anything else, because his works his drawing styles looks the same for the past 20 years. You know, like a lot of comic artists, like they grow, but I think the growth starts for a artist, like their comic art grows exponentially at the very, like the first 4 or 5 years, and then the growth might be in different sectors. Like they might just get really fast, like they might get really fast at what they do, but I don't typically see significant changes, because after a while, when they've their aesthetic has gotten so good, or their aesthetic has fit it's their aesthetic fits what is being demanded of them. So, you know, I I don't see as much change in that field from the artists that I look at. And that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying like that they're really, really good, but you're not going to see them do an abstract piece anytime soon. No, I don't know. You're just not going to see that type of work made from them because they don't have to do it. They love doing that work. Um, Me personally, I like to dabble around and do things, keep things interesting, and always kind of find different ways of expressing forms, and so that's why I do this. So that's one good thing through this whole process of drawing. The way that I'm drawing is because one good thing that's coming from this is I I've learned different ways. But maybe I'm being slightly oversimplifying the issue. I don't know. I probably am. You know, you know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. These opinions are just silly. They're all silly. But like as I was saying, like I just feel that every drawing's a new adventure for me, and it's always tweaking. But maybe I also gotta. I'm only seeing a slice of the artist, right? I'm only seeing like the first, like a 2 year span or a 3 year span. But so I probably need a bigger, like historical crop, like like a bigger scope to really know how far an artist has grown. But Instagram has probably skewed that information quite a bit, right? Because only artists tend to only put like the work that's great. They don't necessarily put the mess ups, and maybe that's why I feel the way that I feel is because I don't really see like, oh, how many struggled pieces have you shown? Like you see a little bit here and there, but even then, it's still kind of regulated, right? They still kind of curate the quote unquote bad drawing that they drew years back. You know, this was a bad drawing I did. That's a pretty good drawing that you did. It's like this is the first. See all the growth I had? Like that drawing was pretty good in the first place, bro. Right? I don't know why I say bro. Anyways, maybe I'm coming off as weird. I don't know. Maybe deep down, I'm probably just deep down jealous. A little bit of jealousy, right? A little bit of like, oh gosh, I wish I could draw like that. Oh gosh, probably would. Probably deep down, I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I wish I could do something like that with ease. Like, oh, and they'll say, oh, it never came easy. Like, oh man, you have no idea how. Like, it's like, oh, some people are like, oh, so bad when I was young, and you see their drawings, like, oh my gosh, you were so good when you started out. You're like, you were already base level. It's like Dragon Ball Z, right? Like you see the Dragon Ball Z, like the base level, like Brawly off Dragon Ball Z, his base power level was super. He was super strong to begin with, and then Goku started off like at 1, and then he ended up being like the best of the best. It's like the same context, like these artists like oh I was so bad when I started. I'm like, yo man, you're pretty good like already. Like you already had a good like understanding without even being trained, or training yourself. You already had a really good foundation. You just were born with an ability to kind of just have really strong sight. And a lot of people have to train themselves to get that sight. And regardless of whether or not you put in a lot of hours, I'm not saying you didn't. There's a lot of people put a lot of hours in, and they do getting better. But to discredit that there was you have to discredit that you didn't have you have like in a skill that some people don't just naturally have is you know is kind of deceiving. Everyone goes around like, oh, self-taught, oh, self-taught. Like, listen, you know, it, some people have a steadier hand than others. They just do. Some people can see things and transcribe things. Like when I say transcribe, basically recreate the drawing or image on paper better than others, just by default. And to say that they put in the hours and to not accept that might have been you as an artist is that's just being like you're lying. As again, it's like the whole bodybuilder thing. It's like Dorian Yates was during an interview said, like, I could go look around any of these bodybuilders and tell them whether they're going to be an Olympian or not. And he's like, and the guy's like, really? Yeah, I can just tell if they have a chance to be an Olympia, a Mr. Olympia. And it's just, it goes based down to like I can just look at the muscle development, look at the muscle bellies or whatever it is, and say this guy has what this guy or girl has uh, the chops to be a world class Olympian, Mr. Olympia. The same thing with drawing. Some people are just have a skill that either that is just there, and to not to discredit it as like through to wash it over the guise of like, oh, they worked really hard. Like, yes, they worked really hard, they have to nurture it, but still there is a level of ability that you that everyone has to nurture. Usain Bolt was really fast when he was younger, right? That dude was fast, but it's not like he just came in and said out of nowhere and said, I'm just going to run. I'm going to be the fastest runner, and I'm not even going to train. That's a fallacy, like, right? I keep zooming out. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. It comes off as like it could be wrong. I don't know. So maybe I think it just comes off as like my point is going to get lost because people are going to pick out the wrong parts of it, right? They're going to pick out the wrong parts and say like, oh, you're discrediting all the hard work from these artists, and you're saying that they didn't earn it. Oh, they did earn it. They did earn it. They did earn it. All these artists that are really, really good earned it. But what I'm trying to say is some people are born with it. I hate saying it, born with the ability to do things better than others, you know. And you can improve in certain fields. You can improve. That's a given, right? But there's people just able to do things better than others, and to not accept that is like it's like you're just I don't know what to say, you know? Like some people can draw better than others and never even picked up a pencil. And like how do you how do you argue against that? Like, what do you do? Like, if someone's able to draw really, really well, and they're like, "How long have you been drawing, dude?" I don't know, like 2 months. What? I've been drawing forever, and I'm not even that good. I don't know. I've been drawing 8 hours a day for 2 months. Like some people could do that, and I just got really good really quickly. And like, I don't know. Uh, it just comes. I'm starting to come off as like if I do a little bit of self-reflect, I'm coming off like maybe rude. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking. I don't know how I'm coming off as. I won't. I'll find out later. Like, you came off as blah blah blah. No, I'm not discrediting anyone's effort. I'm just saying that like some people can work less and achieve better results quicker. You know, it's like I think Dorian Yates. There was a. I'm using Dorian Yates right now as a reference. He's a 5-time Mr. Olympia, right? Super accomplished. He's a 5-time Mr. Olympia, super accomplished, and he was saying that like there's another guy, Flex Wheeler, who is supposed to be like he's really good. He was like one of the best bodybuilders of his time. He wasn't crowned champ. Uh, and he was saying like if Flex Wheeler put 100% in to his like he put like if Flex Wheeler put 100% in, did as much effort as Dorian Yates did, he's like, no man, I probably wouldn't have won. Like I would have a hard time winning against a Flex Wheeler who put in 100% because I was putting in 100% like all year long, you know. But like I'm not discrediting that Flex Wheeler didn't put any effort. Like obviously he worked really hard to achieve that level of physical perfection. Uh, but just the small things. He wasn't as micro. Dorian Yates was like super micro. Like he didn't do anything apparently. Dorian Yates apparently just worked out and then he went home, and that's why he was called the Shadow. No one ever saw him. Flex Wheeler, I heard stories from like Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman was saying like, oh, Flex Wheeler would go out to clubs at night, and and was still able to achieve a level of like that muscle build, which is astounding. So I'm just saying, some people are more gifted than others, and some people have to work a lot harder to achieve a certain skill set, and that's just what it is. That's what this how it is. Like I've worked how many hours to get to this level, and people can work only like 25% amount of time and be at this level or higher than I am, and you just got to understand that's how it is. And it sucks, right? It sucks. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is what it is. And this is pretty good drawing so far. I'm working on it, and again, I don't know how much I should be divulging in these conversations, but I'm learning. Like as I said, some people like that personal touch, and some people don't like it, right? So we'll see. Anyways, I gotta go. I'll be back a little later. Have a wonderful day.